What's up, everybody? This is Jose from Southern Life. On today's video, I'm going to be teaching you some practical phrases that you can use in everyday life in the Spanish language. The first one you need to learn is Quítate del medio, hacer. So let's say you're driving through Miami and there's somebody in your way and you need them to get the crap out of your way. Quítate del medio, hacer. Now say that with me. Quítate del medio, hacer. Quítate del medio, hacer is a nice way of telling somebody to get the crap out of the way while you're driving. As you can see, this guy behind me is rushing me. So in the case you're dealing with somebody that's rushing you, you want to say, no me estés agitando. You have to use your finger when you say it. No me estés agitando, mijo. Say that with me. No me estés agitando. Do not be rushing me, okay? Say that with me. No me estés agitando. You can also add mijo. Mijo means my son. You're not really trying to be nice to the person when you say that. You're calling them my son. It's almost offensive. But if you're driving through Miami and somebody's behind you, you can say, no me estés agitando, mijo. Or let's say you're working, okay? And somebody's trying to get you to work faster. You can say, no me estés agitando. Say that with me, Katie.
No me estés agitando.
No me estés agitando. Come on, say it with me.
No me estés agitando.
No viste qué? Let's say you want to greet somebody and they're Cuban. You are going to say, ¿Qué vola hacer? Okay? Say that with me, Katie. ¿Qué vola hacer? Or you can also say, ¿Qué vuelta, mi hermano?
Que vuelta mi hermano.
Okay, Katie's a really good student here. ¿Qué vuelta, mi hermano? Which means, what's happening, my brother? ¿Qué vuelta, mi hermano? Now, what if the person you're greeting is not a Cuban? And then, in that case, let's say you're dealing with a Mexican. You do not want to say, ¿Qué vola hacer, qué vuelta, mi hermano, to a Mexican, because they're not going to understand what the crap you're talking about. So if you're dealing with a Mexican, you want to say, ¿Qué pasa, primo? Say that with me, Katie.
Que pasa, primo?
¿Qué pasa, primo? And if you stretch the O, it sounds even better. Say it with me. ¿Qué pasa, primo?
Que pasa, primo?
There you go. ¿Qué pasa, primo? It's just like, what up, cousin? Now, that is specifically for Mexicans. Now, let me tell you, stupid English learner, something. You think everybody's a Mexican. If you say, ¿Qué pasa, primo? To a Honduran, a Salvadorian, a Guatemalan, or anybody else who doesn't want to be confused for a Mexican, you're going to get una puñalada, which is a stabbing. Say it with me, Katie. Una puñalada.
Uña pirulada.
No, uña no. No, that's a nail. Uña is a nail. You said a privileged nail. No, that's no. Una puñalada.
Uña puñalada.
No, you're not going to get your nails polished. You're going to get stabbed. All right, let's say somebody's trying to scam you and they're Mexican, or they're doing something really scummy and they're Mexican. You want to say, ¿Qué tranza, güey? Say that with me, Katie. ¿Qué tranza, güey?
Que tranza, way?
No, you didn't say that right. ¿Qué
Que
tranza?
tranza.
No, it's not a trance. It's a... ¿Qué tranza, güey?
Que tranza, way?
Can't understand a dang thing you're saying, Katie. Let's suppose now you're being scammed by a Cuban. If you're being scammed by a Cuban, you don't want to say, ¿Qué tranza, güey? You want to say, ¿Y eso, mijo? Say it with me, Katie.
Yeso mío.
Yes, it is yours, but you said it is mine, and it is yours, but that's not the point. ¿Y eso, mijo?
Yeso mijo.
There you go. ¿Y eso, mijo?
Yeso mijo.
Notice how she's got an attitude when she says it. That's the way you want to say that. So
Always have an attitude when dealing with Cubans.
yeah, ¿Y eso, mijo? ¿Y eso, mijo? Okay, let's say you want to learn some Haitian Spanish. Like you're dealing with a Haitian, and they might not, you don't have Creole. Now, I don't have Creole, but I'll teach you. a few basic things you can learn in Creole. Now, in Creole, which these are Haitians. Now, do not confuse a Jamaican for a Haitian because you'll get machete, which is a machete, which is the same thing as getting stabbed. Except for Haitians don't stab you, they hit you with a machete. So please do not confuse a Haitian for a Jamaican. So, you're in Miami and you're dealing with a Haitian and he's stealing something from you. You call him a volé. Say that with me, Katie.
Vole.
Volé.
Vole.
Now, a lot of times Haitians do speak Spanish, so it's good to have a few Creole words here and there. Let's say your Haitian co-workers are lazy and they're not working. They have a word which is paresse, which means you're paralyzed. Okay, you ain't moving, you're lazy. Say paresse.
Paresse.
No, paresse.
Paresse.
No, parece no. That they're already stopped. So she's not gonna do very well. She's like a Peggy Hill. She ain't gonna learn this crap. Now, let's say your Haitian Creole is limited and you only need a few words here or there to defend yourself in Florida. Then all you have to do is say, "Oh, you crazy," or just "Oh." Now, that right there is one of the most versatile Haitian words you can say. Now, give me a Katie.
Oh.
Okay, that'll work. Now, basically, the they're just grunts. You don't have to learn Creole. You can just be like, what? You crazy. Okay, and there's one phrase in English that you can always use with Haitian people, and even if they don't even know, even if they've never been to America, they don't even know English. There's one English phrase that you can always say to Haitians that they will always understand. Well, why you don't have my money? Trust me, they'll understand it. All right, so let's say it's a light-colored Haitian. Now, we call these people Dominicans. It's like a Haitian, but just a little bit light-colored. Now, these, they speak Spanish too. Now, Dominicans, it's kind of like a type of Haitian, but instead of speaking Haitian, they speak Spanish. Now, these people here, these Dominicans, you always want to say, que lo que. And that's like what it is. Que lo que. So, Katie, give me a good, pero que lo que? No, you call them a pig, you're going to be in trouble. Que lo que?
Que lo que?
Que lo que?
Que lo que?
There you go. Or you can say, just like Haitians. They use the O's too because they're like, Dominicans are practically Haitians, so they use the O's too. So you want to say, pero que lo que? So try that. Pero que lo que?
Puedo que?
No, that's not it. That's not good. Pero. P-E-R-O. Pero.
Pero, like pero?
No. Why am I even saying pero? That's not even the right word for that phrase. Pero que lo que?
Pero pelo que?
No. Pelo is hair. If you call somebody a hair, they're going to hit you. Te van a meter una galleta. Galleta.
Galleta.
There you go. Te van a meter una galleta. So,
Galleto, puedo que?
no, the last word you just said is not very nice. It's basically the Mexican equivalent of the N-word. I don't know where you got that from. Don't ever say that ever again. Exactly. So, somebody's going to slap you. Now, I think most people, whether Cuban, Mexican, or Dominican, are going to understand, te voy a meter una galleta. Say that with me. Te voy a meter una galleta. Te voy a meter una galleta, which means I'm going to slap you. All right, so let's say you're an Uber driver and your passenger smells nasty. You can say, que clase peste a pata. What a class of stinky, but my English ain't very well. What a class of stinky feet. So, let's say you're like driving Uber. All of a sudden, the passenger gets in the back and his feet stink. You want to say to him, que clase peste a pata. Say it with me, Katie. Que clase?
Que clase?
Que clase?
Que clase?
Peste a pata.
Peste a para.
Pata.
Para.
No, there's no R. It's a T. Pata.
Pata.
¿Qué clase peste a pata?
¿Qué clase pete a pata?
¿Qué clase peste a pata?
¿Qué clase peste a pata?
Pata.
That's what I said.
You're putting an R. It's a T. Pata.
Pata.
¿Qué clase peste a pata?
¿Qué clase peste a pata?
Well, that would work very well for Cubans, Dominicans, and other Caribbean Hispanics. If you're dealing with a Central American or a Mexican, you would rather say, usted apesta.
Usted apesta.
There you go. Now, you can always remember pasta or pesto for that one.
Sounds like you are a pestilence.
Yeah, you're a pestilence. Exactly. That's exactly, yeah, there you go. You're learning Spanish. See, Katie's already learning Spanish. I'm telling you, my Spanish class is not like all the other ones on the internet. You're going to learn stuff here at a rate that's incredible. Katie is already learning Spanish, and she made the connection with pestilence. You are a pestilence, basically. Usted apesta. Say it with me, Katie.
Usted apesta.
Usted apesta. It means you're a pestilence. You stink. Now, let's say somebody's talking to you in Spanish, and you got no idea what they're saying, and you frankly have no interest in trying to even figure out what they're saying. You're looking for something you can say to offend that person briefly without using profanity. My favorite go-to phrase that anybody that speaks Spanish will understand is tu madre, which is your mother. It's like saying yo mama. It's a very easy phrase that you can say. Like, let's say you're at work and you know your Spanish coworkers are talking bad about you, but you don't know what they're saying. You don't care to know what you're saying, but you know they're saying something bad about you. You walk by and you say tu madre. Say it with me, Katie.
Tu madre.
Tu madre.
Tu madre.
There you go. Very simple, straightforward, to the point, and effective. Let's say you're that same broke Uber driver and now you need to kick your Spanish passenger out of the car. Now, Katie, you already know this one because you watched Family Guy. So how do you tell somebody to get out?
Afuera.
Afuera! It just means outside or leave. Now, you can say this to your ex-girlfriend, a hooker, or somebody who doesn't want to get out of your Uber ride. Afuera.
A hooker came to your mind?
Well, but you know, you're done. Get out. Afuera.
A hooker came to your mind?
Don't worry about what came to my mind. Worry about what came out of your mouth. All right, so let's say a young mamacita is making advances on you, but you have a wife. Estoy casado means I am married. Katie, say estoy casado.
Estoy casado.
All right, now that works for males, but in Spanish, the male and the female are not the same. Now, I know for you English-speaking people, it's hard to draw the line where a male and a female starts and begin, but in Spanish, we ain't built like that. In Spanish, we've made a distinction between a male and a female. So, usually, if it's a male, you'll say an O at the end of the word, and if it's a female, you'll say an A. So, for example, a señorito and a señorita, a margarito and a margarita, a caso and a casa. You make the distinction of male and a female by putting an O. Now, I don't know why the crap I'm making a video wearing a black t-shirt. I mean, I don't have dandruff, but then the one time I look like I might have some, it's like, you can't wear a black t-shirt if you're a YouTuber. Because even if you don't have dandruff, dandruff will show up the instant you wear a black t-shirt on YouTube. I don't know if y'all knew that. But in the case of estoy casado would work for a male, but if you're a female, how would you say it, Katie?
Estoy casada.
Estoy cansada.
Estoy cansada la boda.
Estoy casada.
Estoy casada.
Estoy casada.
Estoy casada.
No, cansada, no. You're not tired of me. You're married to me. Cansada means you're tired. Now, look at these two words. They sound similar. Casada y cansada. But you're not tired of me. You're married to me. Now, you better get this right.
Better get it right.
Yeah, because you didn't say you were married. You said you were tired. You're not tired of me. You're married to me. Now, casada. It almost sounds like an English word. Say it with me. Casada.
Casada.
Not to be confused with cansada, which means you're tired. Now say cansada.
Cansada.
Okay? There you go. Cansada. And if you're a male, you would say cansado. Now they sound similar, but they ain't. Now, there's a difference between telling somebody you're married. Let's just learn a new word. Tremenda tos. When somebody tos with a Z at the end, like toast.
Tremenda toast.
Ella tiene tremenda toast. Now, you don't have a toast, you have a tos, which means you're coughing excessively. Tremenda tos.
Tremenda toast.
No, not toast. T-O-Z. Tos.
Tremenda toast.
You keep saying toast. Now let's suppose you meet somebody and you want to let them know that you don't speak Spanish. You have no intention to speak Spanish. You're not going to put any effort to speak Spanish.
No hablar español.
You can say no hablar español like she did, or that you want to make it a little bit nicer for them because, you want to put in some effort into this. You say, no me importa. It means I'm not interested. Now you can say, no me interesa, but that sounds too formal. I'm not interested sounds too formal. No me interesa means like I'm not interested. But you want to say no me importa. It's none of my importance. Like I just don't give a crap.
No me importa.
There you go. No me importa. No me importa. Say it one more time.
No me importa.
No me importa, mijo. Notice how you can just put a mijo behind just about everything in Spanish.
Mijo.
All right, so let's say you're driving down the road and somebody undocumented crashes into you, and you need to tell them, do you have a license, insurance, and registration? Okay, now you can say all that, or you just need to know if they have any papers. You can say, ¿tienes papeles? It means, do you have papers? Now, they probably don't have any papers, okay? So, you don't need to go and elaborate if it's a license type of paper or if it's a registration type of paper. You just need to know if they have any type of paper. So, in that case, you would just ask the person, ¿tienes papeles? Katie, say it with me.
Tiene papeles.
Yeah, make sure you put the S at the other end of that. ¿Tienes papeles?
Tienes papeles.
Like, do you have papers? Because you just want to know, like, do you have papers? Now, they're probably going to say, sí, amigo, pero lo dejé en la casa. Which means, yes, my friend, but I left it at home. Now, their home is in Guatemala. That's a damn problem right there. It's not here in America. So, in the case they're full of crap and you know they're illegal, you say, te van a deportar, which means you're going to get deported. Now, say that with me, Katie. Te van a deportar.
Te van a deportar.
All right. Now, at this point, the bargaining chip is on your side of the table and you can try to extort them. And you want to say, do you have any money? Like, let's fix this problem right now. So you would say, ¿tienes dinero? But that sounds kind of harsh because dinero, like money, you're demanding money. You don't want to say money. You want to say plata, which is silver. It's like now you're not going to say exactly, give me your money because I want to extort you because you don't have no papers. You want to say, like, let's work this out. So you say, ¿tienes plata? Let's say it with me, Katie. ¿Tienes plata?
Tienes plata.
Like, you got some on you. What are you holding, really? Say it with me, guys. ¿Tienes plata?
Tienes plata.
Like, do you have something to make this right? And hopefully you do. Now, when you finally get $700 or $800 for that bent bumper up there and you're ready to leave and, it's done and over, you can say, me voy, which means I'm done. I'm leaving. I left. Me voy. You can think about the English term deploy. Like, I'm deploying, I'm done, me voy. Okay? Now say it with me. Me voy.
Me voy.
Or my boy. Kind of like, think about my boy. Like, my boy. These construction workers got me. Now, of course, most of y'all think that all Hispanic people are just Mexicans. But there's different types of Mexicans. There's Cuban Mexicans, there's Guatemalan Mexicans, there's Puerto Rican Mexicans, there's all type of different Mexicans. So I'm going to teach y'all how to identify different types of Mexicans. Now, these guys right here, Chapines! They look like Haitians. All right. So we're going to tell y'all different type of Mexicans. Now, these type of Mexicans here, if they're Guatemalan, now these are the short Mexicans. The ones that work really hard are called Chapines, and those are Guatemalan. So I'm teaching y'all. Like, I hope y'all taking notes at home because I'm teaching you a type of crap ain't nobody gonna finna teach you. I'm teaching you some stuff that ain't no. I'm putting you on some real game on this video, okay? I'm putting you on some real learn Spanish game. Now, Guatemalans, those are the real short Mexicans. Those guys are called chapines. Chapines. Say it with me, Katie.
Chapines.
Chapines. Those are the real hard-working ones. Now, the ones that are a little bit lazier, those are Honduran. They're fatter, they're still short, and they work hard. They're just kind of built a little bit tough. Them are Hondurans right there. And those guys, we got a nickname for those guys, and it's, let's see if I can remember. What do we call Hondurans? I can't believe Katie remembered this and I didn't. Catrachos.
Catrachos.
These are the Honduran ones. These are the fat Guatemalans. Catrachos.
Catrachos.
Now, these guys are usually going to have a nail gun in their hand, blue jeans, and they're going to be working. Usually going to be driving a Nissan Frontier or a dang Toyota Tundra or something like that. It's like a little, if you ever see a short Mexican with blue jeans, kind of chubby, with a nail gun, those are Catrachos, Hondurans. Now, Cubans are Cubanos. Now, Cubans are just Cubans. So say with me, Katie, Cubano.
Cuban.
All right, now Puerto Ricans. Now these are the white Mexicans right here. These are the ones that are like they're born with their papers. Got a nickname for them too. Now Puerto Ricans are Boricuas. Boricua. Say it with me, Katie. Boricua.
Boricua.
Boricua. Now let's say you're out there working and you run into a black Mexican and you want to know if they're a Haitian. You don't know what type of Mexican they are. There's just a black Mexican. Now, these are probably going to be a Haitian, but if you're not sure, you can ask them, do you speak Creole? And that is Parle Creole. Say it with me, Katie.
Parle Creole.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I don't want to catch you saying that to no Haitians down there. I've done had it with you and Haitians, okay? He's got a long trajectory of running into Haitians and stuff like that. I don't want to keep having this problem with you, but say it with me. Parle Creole.
Parle Creole.
And if they say or anything that would suggest yes, now that's a Haitian Mexican. Now they speak a different type of Spanish called Haitian Creole. Now that's a whole different type of Mexican right there.
Just because I get hit on at the Walmart by Haitian men does not mean I have a long history with Haitian men.
Long story short, I don't let her go to Walmart anymore, especially the one on Tremenda Tos, especially the one on 64. There's just way too many Haitians there. And every time they see a big white woman like that, they think they're going to get their visa or something.
Yeah, not interested in that.
All right, now. So let's say you see a nice little Spanish Mexican girl and you like her. You want to just, flirt with her. Want to say something cute to a Spanish girl. And you can say, oye, mami. Say that with me, Katie. Oye, mami.
Oye, mami.
Now, of course, if you're a female, you'd say, oye, papi.
Oye, papi.
And that's just like, hey, what's up? But that's like a slutty what's up. Now, you don't say that to everybody unless you want to get punched upside the head. Now, let's say you want to know what something's worth. Like, how much is that? Now, believe it or not, I remember a while back, we were like in Tennessee somewhere at a flea market, and there's like these people trying to sell a bunch of tools, and this redneck was like, how much did you tell for it? And they couldn't understand the dang thing he's saying. Now, I understood that at that moment I could intervene and translate for this guy, but watching the angry rant that this guy went on, trying to ask how much money this guy wanted for his thing, not being able to communicate, was so entertaining that I didn't get involved for quite a bit. Especially since I wanted the item too, so I just let it play out, and then I bought it. Until I realized it was way too expensive, and then I walked away and nobody got to buy it. Point being, though, if you want to know what something costs, and you don't know Spanish, Katie, what would you say?
Tienes dinero.
Yeah, asking them if they got money is not going to give you the price, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to teach you a new phrase, Katie, that'll be more effective. ¿Cuánto vale?
Quanto vale?
No, it's not Quanto Valley. It's Cuánto vale.
Quanto vale?
No, Bali. No, it's not a valley down there. We're not going to Bali. So in Spanish, you got to really pronounce your letters. The V, the Z's. So just va. Say with me. Vale.
Quanto vale?
Stop putting a B in it. Like Valentina's with a V.
V. I said a V.
¿Cuánto vale?
¿Cuánto vale?
At the end, you're like putting a Y and it's a E. ¿Cuánto vale?
¿Cuánto vale?
There you go. ¿Cuánto vale means how much is it worth? ¿Cuánto? How much? And then vale, value. How much value do you want for this? ¿Cuánto vale means how much is it worth? All right, so let's say you're irritated by somebody. You want to say, conmigo no. With me, no. It's like, I'm not part of this. I'm not putting up with this. So, Katie, say with me, conmigo no.
Conmigo no.
Conmigo no.
Conmigo no.
Notice how she put emphasis on the O and she dragged it out. Conmigo no.
Conmigo no.
Conmigo no. All right, so we're going to talk about some Cuban phrases that only Cuban people will understand. So you're not going to find this on YouTube. So, Katie, give me a few Cuban phrases that only Cubans know.
Panko.
All right, panko. So think about panko breadcrumbs. Now, a panko is like, I think the English word would be a mare, which is like a horse that's not a male. So it's a way of calling somebody a coward. It's a very offensive word. It's basically the English counterpart would be a mare. So if you want to call somebody a mare, you could call them a panko. Now, Mexicans and Spanish Mexicans will probably understand it. Cubans definitely will. Puerto Ricans and Dominicans probably will. It's not a word you're going to use with all Spanish people, but if you're dealing with a Cuban or Puerto Rican, you know, most of the type of Mexicans you find here in the United States, like Cubans and Puerto Ricans, they should be able to understand that they're a mare. Katie, what's another famous Cuban? What's another good Cuban one they got to know, Katie?
Taru.
Taru. Taru is a word that probably only exists in the Cuban language. If a guy is okay with being cheated on, basically, is that like a simp almost? Would be like the right term?
There's a word for it, but I don't know if it's allowed on YouTube.
All right, let's say it off camera. I'll let you know. Yeah, you definitely don't want to say that one on YouTube, Katie. So that's one we don't want to say. But it's a dude who is kind of like a simp, but like, Taru is the type of dude that like.
Okay with his wife walking out on it.
Yeah, he's like he's with a girl, but she's with somebody else, but he's cool with it. He's not putting up any pretexts. So that's a Taru. Taru's the type of dude that will like his girl's with somebody else, or he's being cheated on, but generally it's not that he's being. I guess the moment your girl cheats on you, you're at Taru. But there's also the context of you're being cheated on and you're okay with it. So, how do you say it again, Katie?
Taru.
Now, Taru comes from the Spanish word tarro. Now, tarro is the horns on a bull. Now, a bull, usually the cow goes from bull to bull. And that's kind of the term, and the bull is usually okay with that. So, that's where that term comes from, tarro, which is the horns on a bull. So, if you meet a Cuban guy, and you say taru to him, it's a very offensive word. It's the type of word that you're going to have to throw fist over. So, I guess this is probably a very useless word unless you know a Cuban guy who you want to rub in his face that his chick is kind of all over the place and he ain't doing much about it. Rare circumstance, but if you're in that situation, that word will get you through the situation by inciting violence, I guess. I'm not sure. Actually, now that I think about it, yegua. I want to get into the screen so they can see you. Say hi to them and stuff like that. She's there. Yegua is actually mare.
Yeah.
So penco is like a lazy horse.
Yeah.
So we might have. I'm teaching people the wrong stuff. We're teaching people like the wrong meaning of things. No, yegua is actually a mare. Yegua, which is awfully like you call somebody a yegua, it's like you're calling them a mare. It's a very offensive term. It's not vulgar, but it's definitely offensive. Penco would be like you're a lazy horse. So penco or yegua, it's kind of like you're already calling somebody a horse. It's not gonna go too well either way.
It's not gonna go well.
It's not gonna go well. Yeah. All right, guys. So that's 30 minutes of Learn Spanish with Jose and Katie. You learned some very useful phrases that will definitely get you into trouble or out of trouble, depending on which direction you're heading with this. You know, I saw a video today. I was trying to teach Katie some Spanish, and I saw a video on YouTube And the video had like 3 million views. I'm like, hey, I can do a better version of that right there.